You ever wondered who is behind the scenes of all of the stuff that goes on here? The truth is, every creator has somebody who helps bring their vision to life. For me, that's Jessie Hayes, who's joining us today. You've heard me say her name more times than I can count. And today, you finally get to meet the woman behind the emails, the organization, the brainstorming, and the countless little details that help me bring this dream to life and make everything possible. Now, I should probably warn you, Jess would much rather stay behind the scenes. And she's actually said to me, I'm kind of more of a behind the scenes gal. So I took a lot of convincing to get her here. And she's more than just a creative teammate of mine. She is definitely somebody who helps me pull back the curtain, helps me show a little bit more of myself, and helps me bring this channel to all of you. So grab your coffee, pull up a chair, because the big talk at this table is just beginning. Welcome, Jessie.
Hi.
Well, now that I have finally drug you in front of the camera, who is Jessie Hayes?
Well, I will say I am a mom first. I'm a 17-year-old and about to go into his last year of high school. But I've been a single mom for, pretty much his whole life. And so that is my life, and that is like the me. And then on the other side of that, I help work with different marketing type stuff for a few different companies. And I like to run. I have
Now we're getting somewhere.
I have recently started to write a book, and that people may or may not ever see, but I'm still doing that. And also a dog mom with a
Well, we can tell because we hear it in the.
yeah
I can hear. Yes, I can hear it.
yeah.
I
You'll
forgot his
probably
name.
running around here eventually.
Why can't I remember?
His name is Milo.
Why can I not remember that? It literally just like my mind just told. I said I can remember. I can hear him. Then I'm like, why can't I remember his name?
He's
Okay, Milo.
a loud little.
Well, so I think that um I love how you started off like most women would. And who is Jessie Hayes? And you went to tell me about being a mom and how long you've been a mom, and then your career and what you do for a job, right? And so that's great, but that's all small talk. So we're going to get really down to the big talk. So I'm so glad you just got that out of the way for us. Oh, and the dog mom part too. But I really want people to see you, and I have to tell you, I'm so proud of you. I know that we do a lot of things like this face to face, but actually you being in front of the camera and in front of everybody, that was never your intention. And I won't do it many times to you, but I am proud of you because it is overcoming a fear. And I promised you that you would live through it and that I wouldn't make you feel too bad or like, make you say anything really, really uncomfortable, maybe a little bit, um, but I am proud of you because I feel like you and I are in both different seasons in our life. And I wanted to kind of talk about how that kind of transitioned. So we have been working together for, I want to say 3 years, right?
Yeah, it's probably close to that.
Yeah. And so I just want to kind of give everybody your perspective. What is it like working with me?
Well, I think, we have done a lot of different projects now together, right? Like hasn't always just been this project. It started with something completely different that has nothing to do with this. And it has been really great. And so, you can work with a lot of different people of like your leadership, or like people that you look up to and work with and collaborate with and stuff. And they're like very poor and unmotivating. I've worked in a career where it's been like you don't enjoy going to work every day, and that kind of stuff. And so like leadership plays such a big role in that. And so I like working with you because you are like you are a very positive person, and you have pushed me to do a lot of the things that I didn't think that I would ever want to do, and some things you didn't even know about until recently. Um,
Right.
and so I do definitely enjoy like that part of it. It's like a fun work environment, even though we don't get to necessarily like physically see each other all the time, we're still talking a lot. So I do like that a lot. And I think
Now,
you've had a lot of probably like years in leadership with being at Angels and that kind of stuff, and different ways that you have, you know, been able to learn how to pull that stuff out of people. That makes
this was not a paid advertisement for myself, just so you know. So, but I want to talk about, I mean, that's the good stuff, right? So you can talk a little bit about the bad stuff about me. Like, let's be real. Like, well, I mean, I
sense.
have ADHD,
Yes.
and I know that's a challenge to work with somebody who has ADHD. And so I'm going to do a little paid advertisement for you because I would say that I try to collaborate and work with people who are opposite of me because I know that I don't have great organizational strengths. I don't have great nitty gritty fine detail like that and that kind of concentration, which you do. You excel at that. And so I feel like we've worked together for 3 years, and I think we've worked so well together because you get that now and can stop it sometimes, right?
Yeah, because there are some times where, you have these wonderful ideas, but then it's like, we got to finish what we're working on first, maybe. Let's like not pause the projects we got going on. We'll just push this one out. And I love how excited you get, but sometimes it's like, let's just finish this one thing first before we're moving on.
Squirrel starts running really fast on the wheel when the ideas come.
Yeah, that it does.
And you definitely trip the squirrel a lot.
I don't ever want to put your ideas down, but I do want to, let's finish these couple of things first.
Yes. And so that really, and I love the piece that you said, I pushed you, which there were things that I didn't know that you just had told me recently that I was so excited about and so proud of you, which I didn't know. And that goes along with what I say all the time on the podcast or on the videos that I'm putting out is that you never know who you're inspiring. You never know. I mean, I talk to you almost every day. And you didn't share that with me, which like I'm actually kind of glad you didn't because I talked about sometimes when you share your dreams with people, people like to squash you down. They want to tell you all the negative things. And so I love that you actually listened to that piece of advice and kept it from me. But um so I feel like that is so truth telling just to the type of work that we're doing. What you're helping me build and helping me bring to the world is so important. And I just wanted to have you on here so everybody could meet you and know what a wonderful person you are because I know that. And I just wanted to share you with everybody for a little bit and just so they could get a little more insight in who you are. And I kind of want to talk about something, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. But we've been working on a project for a very long time, and it's kind of launched, but it's like a soft kind of launch, right? Like really, it's not really launched. I mentioned it one time, and like it's kind of gone by the wayside. But you kept through this length of this project, which this has been over a year and a half, I think, on this project. And it has transpired so much from what it first started at to where it is right now. And you have pushed me along that threshold. And in the middle of kind of creating all of that, I think there was a time where you were really uncovering the who is Jessie Hayes part. Do you want to talk about that at all? You know what I'm talking about?
Not, I mean, you're talking.
When we were in Nashville, I was talking about like when we were really working on that project and you were like, and we were in the hotel room and you were just like telling me kind of like you didn't know this, but all right, we'll cut that out. Okay, let me go back.
Sorry, because I don't exactly know what you're talking.
Okay, let me go back. So, tell me what's on your list of things that you want to talk about so I can ask you a question.
Like, well, about myself though. I don't know. No, I'm sweating. Cut that out.
Cut that out.
I don't know. Like I guess like I'm a really big introvert, and so I don't know if you want to ask anything about that, but it is total. It kind of goes back to the total opposite of you.
Yes. Okay. So, let's see. I forgot what I said before I started talking about the project. So I really kind of want to go back to who is Jessie Hayes. And so, I don't ever think that you found yourself or would have found yourself on here right now being who Jessie Hayes is, correct?
Right. Yes. So,
And why is that?
well, I really am a pretty big introvert, which is why I like to be behind the scenes of things and not out here in the world. But for the most part, I do like to keep to myself. I love being able to work remotely, and it's just like, again, like working with you and like working with people that are like actually like really good leaders is has has pushed me to do a lot of things that I never thought that I would or that I'm not capable of doing. Like even for you, there's been times where you're like, "Can you do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know how to do that." And you're like, "You can figure it out." And so then I do. But but that is something also that I love to learn new stuff. Like if you or if someone like gives me some type of like task, or even if it's like I'm remodeling parts of my house. And so then I'm like watching YouTube videos, trying to figure it out, or like using AI to help me, like, what is the best way to do some of this stuff. I do like to be a problem solver.
Agree with that with you. And I think it's funny because I, when I asked you that I wanted to do this, I totally had my whole, like, what I was going to do to convince you to do it. And you agreed so easily. I was just like, but I also know that had I asked you that a year and a half ago, you would have absolutely told me no way. Like, there would have been absolutely no way. And so I see your growth in the year and a half. And I won't even know that I'm doing the things I'm doing to push you because that's just what I do, right? So, like, you see it as me pushing you. I see it as you can figure it out. Like, you'll be fine. And so I feel like, that's what I hope is coming across in the things that I'm doing for women. I hope that I'm giving the same enlightenment to women like I have with you. And it has been really awesome watching you the last year and a half grow and helping me to grow and helping me to overcome, you know, we talked a little bit about my ADHD and like ideas, but you worked with me for the last year and a half and have seen me, or 3 years, struggle with some of the things that I even talk about. And I mean, what is it like to see that from your aspect?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of it boils down to like confidence, and then also like fear, like a fear of failure too, I think on both of our parts, because like I don't want to ever do something that I feel like is going to disappoint you, or and any of that kind of stuff. But I definitely do feel like I have a lot more confidence now, in that like I know I can figure it out. And I know you have gotten like that too, right? Where you're like, is this really the direction? Is this what we should really be doing? Is this what we should be focusing on, or should it be something else? And like, does that really come down to both like a fear of failure and a confidence thing? And so it is nice to have someone boosting you up every week. And yeah.
Right? And that's the whole part of what I started. I mean, everybody needs somebody to kind of be in their corner, and whether they share the whole dream, whether you're sharing your whole thing or not. I mean, I have to share everything with you because we work as a team together. So like, a lot of things that like I've talked about doing or I've wanted to do or I've explored doing. And yet we kind of sit with it sometimes. And like you said, we come back to it. We're like, okay, is that really fitting into the mission? Does that really fit with what we're doing? Or do we just need to put that in the parking lot for a little while and let it stay in the parking lot and then see if it goes anywhere? And I think that we make a really good team like that because you sometimes do trip the squirrel, and the squirrel needs to be tripped every once in a while because with ADHD, every new idea is like the best thing ever, right?
Yeah. And
And
then
I
for
like to
me,
create, and so that's the other part that's hard.
yeah. And then for
And
me
you're
and
like,
like
oh, that's more work.
my small part of my OCD brain is like, we have to finish this first or I won't be able to stop thinking about it until it's done. Like I can't move on yet. so so yeah, it's a good little mix we got.
So it is. It's great how we are two. That's one thing I really wanted to show. We are two totally different personalities. We are two totally different, the way our brains work, the way our brains operate. But we also are two really good teammates that work really well together and communicate very well together. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people don't understand about leadership. Leadership is not um, telling somebody everything that they're going to do. It's inviting them to the table and let's have a conversation about it. And is it going to work or isn't it going to work
Yeah,
type thing.
it is. It really is like
Yeah.
pushing you to do things that you didn't think that you could do, or, like having a leadership that just is confident in your abilities. That helps you be a little bit more confident and helps you, you either want to do it or you don't. And so I do almost feel bad for some people that don't have that, they don't have that type of leadership in their lives, but I'm grateful I do. So,
Yeah, it makes it, it's a great, it really does make a great working relationship, I think. Um, and it's caring. I think that's the other piece too, because I mean, I care about you. And so, like, when we talk about things, sometimes you might say something and it's totally unrelated to what we're working with, but I want to stop what we're working with and be like, okay, but let's talk about that for a minute because I care about you, right? And so I think that also brings into the equation too.
yeah, for sure.
And I know how much you care about the work that you do and the mission that and what we're building. So I know that that plays into it also.
Well,
So
yeah,
what is one thing that everybody would be surprised to learn about Jessie Hayes?
it's kind of a silly thing, but I actually collect old Superman comics. So I have like probably 150 comic books from like the 60s to I don't know, maybe 80s, 90s. And I like Superman a lot.
I did not know that. I'm surprised to know that about you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm totally going to say something else. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, Superman just
Now I know what to get you for Christmas.
represents hope, and he helps people, and I feel like that's part of like my mission too, and I'm still finding that of like how much and how can I help people. And so I just like him for that a lot.
Well, that's awesome. Well, that's like you're going to be your new name for me now, like on everything. It's going to be Superwoman though instead of Superman. But I have to tell you, I don't think that you're looking. I think you found it. Like you're you're helping this mission and this dream build. I couldn't do it without you. I mean, I don't think anybody has any idea how much it takes to build and do what we're doing on so many levels, from a website level to marketing to newsletter to guests for the podcast, um, topics for the podcast. And so you are serving women and you are helping women. And it's kind of like when you tell me something and I didn't know I inspired you, I'm going to say that you're inspiring all of these women that watch this content, that engage with this, that are believing in themselves again. You have a piece of that. of helping them.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. And I think that too, like when I was younger, I wanted to do something in like nursing or whatever because I wanted to help people. Like that's what I wanted to do. And then I went to school for nursing for a little bit and I did not like a lot of the parts to it, and so it did take me a long time to figure out like what can I do to help people that's not gross. Thank you to all the nurses, but
That's
that
not gross.
that is not my
Well,
calling.
here you go.
So
There's not really anything gross. No, that's not mine either. But I think when you say helping people, it's such a vague,
yeah,
like it's a broad statement, right? Like that can mean so many things. And so like what we're doing, we don't always get to see the end result of the people that we've helped because not everybody reaches out and is like, just wanted to tell you, you inspired me to do that. Some people do, but it's that truth and that belief, that that faith that you just once you go, that you're doing it, that you're helping. If you help one person, it's so worth it.
yeah, and I think that
So it is just different. It's just helping people in a different way.
yeah, and I think like when you get these people that email us back or, that are sending messages or whatever and thanking, you for the stories that you're telling and stuff like that, it does resonate with me too because I'm like helping, get the word out in some of the ways and stuff too. So it is a very fulfilling thing that I think that we're building. And we're just getting started.
Awesome. We are, baby. Well, listen, Jessie, I wanted to thank you for stopping by today and at least letting us get a little bit of glimpse into who Jessie Hayes is. And thank you so much for everything that you do for us for me, but I have to say us because all the listeners are going to resonate with this also because they look forward to the newsletters. They look forward to everything that we're doing on the website and getting guests on the podcast and everything like that. So thank you so much for being a part of my team and helping me with this dream, with this mission, and with what we're going to bring to the world. And you're right, we're just getting started. Is there anything you want to leave with us today, Jessie?
Well, I just want to say that I appreciate you and I hope that we can continue to build this and change lives and lead with love.
Lead with love. And there you go. So listen, thank you, Jessie Hayes. This is Joni Leigh, and our podcast drops every week now, starting in August, every Tuesday. So make sure you hit subscribe on YouTube to make sure that you get all of the podcasts, but not only that, all the extra content that is being put out on that channel. And also, you can listen to the podcast anywhere where you subscribe to podcasts, so Spotify, Apple Music, any of the podcast apps. Just make sure that you hit subscribe on wherever you get your podcast and listen to your podcast app. And I just want to thank you again. Thank you for joining us here at the table. And if this resonated with you today and whatever Jessie had to say about who Jessie is or who I am as a leader, as a person, I hope that you will join us and be a part of our community because, like she said, we're just getting started and we're going to build something amazing here for all of you women. So thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to continuing this work with you. And I can't wait to see what God has for us. And you know what? Remember, you got this.